Buenos días y bienvenidos al último día de Dreamhack. What's up, Valencia? All right. All the foam fingers. I love it. I love it. For the thousands of eyes that are out there right now watching, this may mark the final day of the summer premiere, but I can guarantee you, in the eyes of the 20 players of our final 4 teams, today marks the beginning of just what will be the sure start of a brand new day in Paladins esports. Of course, I'm Alan. I hold shift down at Frio, and we have something really going on here. And if you haven't been watching over the last 2 days, I have to wonder, where have you been? To get you caught up, we have 4 fresh console players coming through, console teams, pardon me, and of course 8 veteran PC teams, 2 of which from EU are the only 2 teams to ever hold the championship rights in Paladins. And for those of you who have been following along, it's not going to be the case anymore, both of them having fallen in the last couple of days. But of course, let's get things started with our console war finals. We have our best Xbox team from NA and our best PS4 team from EU. And if you've missed that action, let's take a little recap of what's going on in the last couple days. Excitement has occurred over the last couple of days, and started things off on our first day with, of course, our PS4 with Team Cryptik coming up on top, and I have team captain here, Swiper, the one and only at this point in time. We've seen some crazy things with Acrobatics Pip coming out, and we've actually heard that it's not your favorite character necessarily to play. You have a reputation of using Androxus. Where do you find yourself going here as being one of the main fraggers on your squad?
I think I'm going to pull out the Acrobatics Pip. Nobody's been able to deal with it so far, and I don't think they will be able to either.
Without a doubt. And of course, one of the big things that we saw coming out of your opponents was the fact they're playing a lot of hit scan, and of course having a strong front line. You guys had a very strong role throughout not only your qualifiers but your day yesterday, or pardon me, 2 days ago. How are you guys feeling coming into this one here?
Feeling really good. Pip hard counters, most of the heroes they play. I'm feeling really confident going into this.
All right, any last words for either your fans or possibly your opponents over here?
Good luck.
Oh, might need it by the town of that. But of course, we also have the North Americans being represented by Strictly Business, and I have Shoo with me. Now, you guys, I think, unexpectedly took a very handed sweep happening yesterday with only losing a single point. One objective, that was it. Where does that kind of give your momentum coming into today?
We're feeling really good about today, and we're ready to win. We're here to win.
Without a doubt. And of course, you guys have a very similar record, not having lost throughout your online qualifiers. Any kind of intimidation factors jumping in against another undefeated team?
Not at all.
All right, last words for the fans or your opponents?
4-0.
4-0, that's what it's going to be. Bold statements. Well, good luck to both of you guys. Of course, we hope for, the best sportsmanship and gameplay we could possibly get. And of course, we're going to be having that excellent setup. This is the first of 2 finals, so a new champion will be crowned in one facet or another. We're going to devise who our Sultans of the Sticks will be, and I can think of nobody better to get to call than our 2 main men on the microphone, Evan Rain Day Rayner and Nick Prettier Kyo. Gentlemen.
Well, thank you so much for that, Alan. What an introduction into what an incredible event we have here. Of course, my name is Evan Rain Day Gaming Rayner. Of course, this is Nick Kyo, Hi-Rez Pretty Hair in the Hi-Rez form of things. We're excited. We're in Valencia, and it's Saturday, excuse me. It's the finals, and of course, $50,000 on the line. Paladins Console Wars, the best of the best. Xbox, PS4, who's going to come out on top?
I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything better, right? So we get not only an NA and an EU team, but an Xbox team and a PS4 team. So we get to see everything on the line here today. The best region, best platform will definitely be crowned.
The players are all ready to go. I've been having so many conversations with them, and of course, looking at where they've come from, it's been quite a journey for a lot of these teams, both handling their opponents relatively easily. In the qualifiers, not the case. Some of these teams, such as Strictly Business, faced off against quite a bit of adversity in their own region, on their own platform. But it was all of them who made it here today.
Yeah, and being that this is kind of the first console Paladins tournament, it's really cool that we get to see actually those stomps in the semifinals in my eyes. Let me tell you why.
Why?
So now we don't have this history, right? We can't really gauge the power of these 2 teams, so we really don't know what's going to happen. Neither team saw any resistance really in the semifinals. I mean, you can make the case that Team Cryptik did drop a map.
True.
Only 1 point drop for Strictly Business. It's all up in the air today.
Both teams are flawless. Of course, their paths have been easy. But let's take another look at the path to HRX. Console Wars will return there in 2018. More details to follow, but if you're a fan of the console scene, if you want to get involved, there will be an opportunity for you to do so at our biggest event in January coming up.
Yeah, it's been one really cool thing to watch here. The flavor in terms of the gameplay is very different than what you've seen if you watch a lot of PC Paladins esports. We're seeing a lot of the acrobatics pit. That's been one that's kind of stolen the show, but definitely some comps that we see that is also kind of similar. It's been, I guess, 4 metas, you could say.
Yeah.
PS4, EU, and NA metas are all very different from the Xbox EU and NA metas as well.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at anything like PC, all of the different regions have their different flavor picks.
Yeah.
Talking about strictly business, they've got the flavor pick of the acrobatics pip, which you mentioned, allowing him to go into the legendary choice. That means he can double jump in the air, giving his weightless so much more mobility. This is them right there. The squad that looks confident, feels confident. I saw Shoo, Wxnderful, in the airport. They were very nice guys. And also today, before the stage, none of that niceness on their face. It was all mean mugging. They're ready to go. They said 4-0, and I don't know, Nick. They don't look to be stopped easily.
Shoo, their captain there. Big words from him. Skeppii, the Penta Man himself, playing that hipfire Victor, and we didn't really see much onus for that from Team Cryptik. They didn't really seem to pick it up, so he could be getting that almost every game today. Wxnderful there, tank player. Some serious skills on his Ashe, in my eyes. Kcam, a lot of flexibility out of him. Drogos yesterday. And we also saw his ability to play Willow, which is really good.
Just look at his teamwork.
Rounding things out, Mr. Woosh.
Passing the hand down as well. The foam finger just going down the line. These guys are focused and in sync. And of course, on the other side, it's Team Cryptik coming through. Swiper, I only out B. Take a look at him first. These guys are confident. They were sitting with me yesterday watching the games, and they said, hey, I think we're going to get the win. I don't see any of these teams competing at our level. So that's I only out B starting things off. He's got the PS4 foam finger. Wow, that's a telling tale right there. Maglish as well, confident member of this squad. It's got the finger also. Where are they getting these things, Nick? Why don't we have one? Oh, wow. With the reverse, put the extra shirt on the finger. This is taking the soccer celebrations to a whole new level. And my goodness gracious, coming through stormavatar, representing again. And what's Swiper the one guy? He's kissing the finger. Wow, there's a lot happening there. A lot of innuendos could be made, but we're not going to make them. We're going to go right into, obviously, this camera shot and talk a little bit about these two teams coming through. Skeppii, he's the other guy I kind of want to mention. That Victor play from yesterday was absolutely phenomenal. Do you think we're going to see that come out today? Will Team Cryptik be able to stop it?
It's interesting. Like we talked about, there's 4 different metas in each region and on each platform, and all of them seem to kind of prioritize different things. So watching these games, it feels like everyone's getting everything that they want.
Yes.
Team Cryptik, they're going to be able to pull out this acrobatics pip with no real contest from their Xbox opponent. Likewise, we didn't see them pull out much Victor, so we could see Skeppii on this hipfire Victor every single game.
Well, as we obviously take a look at where these games will be played, Nick, the key question is whether it's map dependent or not. These drafts, like you mentioned, seem to be very secular. They get what they want. They don't worry about the other team. They're not trying to take away, not trying to ban. This is really going to be a feeler match in my eyes for both of these teams as they head into it. And of course, Frog Isle will be the first map that these two teams take their skills on. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so we saw some Totemic Ward Grok, I think, prioritized a little bit more heavier from Team Cryptik.
Yeah.
Muting out some really intense, would have been King Bombs.
Yes.
So Grok is a big, actually one of the picks that I do expect to be contested. Tanks kind of across the board, I think, you know, either of these tank players, both teams kind of preferring the double frontliner. There is going to be some contest there, so expect to see those early in the draft.
Well, as Willow takes into her Fae flight in the background, the champion draft begins right in front of us. Strictly business, given the first pick in this lineup, and they will secure the Ruckus. Very flexible tank pick, Nick.
Absolutely. Back over to Team Cryptik. Here, ball's in their court. Drogos taking that away from Kcam and the Victor. So Skeppii and Kcam now have to figure out, adjust on the fly. What will they be playing? This is the majority of what we saw them playing yesterday. So Cryptik wasting no time and going for the throat.
Of course, on your screen it does say Gangstars, but that is Team Cryptik who are actually drafting, and the Victor, that's going to be a very, very big choice, Nick. How are Strictly Business going to follow up with this? We haven't seen Skeppii actually have to go into anything else.
Yeah, so still needing frontliners for this Team Cryptik squad, still needing healers on both squads. Now we saw...
He looks tense. He looks like he's trying to make a decision here.
Yeah,
what do
it
they
looks
do?
like there is a little bit of thinking here going on. We saw not so much prioritization on the Maldamba, however, it can be played. I find it very difficult personally, but these guys are much better mechanically than I, so they can make it work. If it's the right pick for the situation, I don't expect them to hesitate picking it, but definitely Seris and Ying prioritize as far as the healers go, strictly business, getting those frontliners online, and Ying as well.
Ying's been a flavor pick, and quite the interesting decision for Cryptik to follow up with Fernando and Ashe, taking the, I guess, the tallest ship in Paladins, you would probably say, and very, very qualified to do the job of the frontliners. Bruiser, they've got Sustain on the point. Willow and Tyra followed up as well, surprising me a little bit there.
So Cryptik, pretty interesting that they do pick both Fernando and Ashe, filling similar roles-ish in terms of backline bully in my eyes, as well as not leaving themselves open for a counter pick in their final slot. All they had left to get was their healer, Willow. Tyra selected. They kind of knew everything on the board, so strictly business, I think, is very confident with those final 2 picks.
We saw Makoa drafted a little bit in some of these games prior in the semifinals, the finals for both of these Xbox and PS4 games, and he was so good at setting people up with that dredge anchor. We are curious how Fernando, Ashe are going to contribute that same type of setup, but if you watched BC yesterday and you saw Josh Kidd play Seris, that was pretty much all the setup you needed. Those convergences were more than enough to win these fights.
It's going to be a good setup for Victor's Barrage. We saw a little bit of a struggle to make use of that very well, unless your name is Skeppii. He's the man who found the pentakill off the back of the Barrage. Ladies and gentlemen, game 1 of the Console Wars Finals taking place on Frog Island.
Swiper the one riding the horse on the Drogos. They said just shoot the pip as their strategy. It's not that easy, he told me before the game, and now he's on the Drogos with a nice salvo to start things off. Gets a lot of damage, Nick, and a fire spit to follow.
There's a seedling coming out from Willow as well. Doesn't find a ton of damage. Ruckus immediately heading towards the backline, but he's a little bit separated from his squad. First blood goes the way of strictly business. This Ruckus definitely abusing his early game staying power.
Swiper the one, though, follows up onto Skeppii, but Wxnderful with the Ruckus starts things off with a triple kill. Strictly business. Oh, they mean business.
Cryptik, this has got to shake them. They are not used to this type of resistance. This is what we talked about with these dominant semifinals, with the dominant qualifying runs. Both of these squads had how can they handle adversity at land.
Strictly business now with point control. 90% on the objective. Fernando coming in with a fireball, trying to withstand some of the damage pressure, but 99% overtime ticking away. His team is forced back thanks to the cannons this Ruckus is providing. He's just so much firepower.
Really strong early game pickup here. Here's it paid off for strictly business. Giving up that Victor, giving up that Drogos doesn't seem to have costed them a bit.
Oh boy, Swiper the one forced back yet again. Team Cryptik trying to find their bearings in this game. Strictly business have come out jumping the race. They've taken a far and ahead lead. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Payload still pushing, about a 30% left to go.
70% on this Barrage. Hexafire ready to go. So much ult charge from this Ruckus player. Fate Flight now charge. Crossfire charge. Illusory Rift is charged. Strictly business are way ahead in ults, and they intend to use them.
Uh-oh, up in the air. Fate Flight coming through. How much damage can you find? Skeppii gets one. Will they get the Drogos out of the air? Goes up. She's got the Flutter available if she needs to get out of a tight spot. They don't see her. Willow comes down. Almost gets the Ashe, but with the result of the dead zone there, Skeppii B is going to finish her off, making sure no healing comes through. This is all strictly business, Nick. Full wipe for Cryptik.
Crossfire results in 2 kills. Illusory Rift was used, so Hexafire the only ultimate left. Team Cryptik's ultimates are starting to come online. Look for those to definitely be using defense. Here comes the first one.
Hello, hello, Hexafire. See you later, Fernando. See you later, Seris. See him later, Victor. And look at this, Ashe, the last one standing. And this is strictly business, taking a commanding 2-0 lead.
Wxnderful is in control of this game.
You're right.
He is fearless. His movement is crisp. It's calculated. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's getting it every single time. Cryptik have got to stay in this game, get these cauterizes online, get these records online as soon as possible to make Wxnderful uncomfortable. Right now, he's smiling on stage. He's hitting all of his shots. He's the first one to get his ultimate online. He is in the driver's seat.
He is smiling. He was remembering a little bit nervous in the draft phase. Taking away the Victor, we asked how would Skeppii B respond? Well, not only is he contributing basically just as much of a presence on the Tyra, they've got a great first pick Ruckus to him.
They're very similar characters, right? So I don't think taking away the Firefight Victor is got to be the main strategy. Skeppii looking completely comfortable to just take up arms with Tyra. Head things off into this team fight. Again, wonderful, straight to the back line, pressuring out Victor, trying to get those last shots, but Saris looks like a good enough target for him.
Uh-oh, but she went out way too early, unfortunately, to try to keep the Victor alive. She will trade her life to keep the Victor firing, but they lose a tank. And the other team, Team Cryptik, loses a healer. 12% on the objective for Strictly Business. Swiper trying to make things happen for his team and just get onto the point.
Fire split up over the top, will connect on the one. A couple members of Strictly Business low. They get top back off quickly. Crossfires pop, shredding through this Fernando shield, forcing the Immortal.
Big time stuff there. He's not going to be able to have that immunity later. Throws the firebomb right onto him as well. And look at this, wonderful building so much space in the back line for everyone on Strictly Business. This is just easy peasy lemon squeezy for these guys. Team Cryptik have no way to deal with this strategy.
He's not letting Saris breathe. AkimboMistiK has been under pressure the entire game. Likewise, Victor losing out this battle to Fat Victor. Very, very convincing.
And Fat Victor, that's the ruckus here. Wonderful on a 2 streak. Feeling confident, playing well. Getting up into the air with the aerial assault advance. Thus having to, again, be on the push for his team. 3-0 goes Strictly Business. They're close to 4-0ing. The best team on the other side of the pond.
Cryptik 3 ults online right now. Assert Dominance, Convergence, Barrage, and big Wombo combo. Potential Maglish. His ultimate's more defensive utility. Hexafire from the side. Dome shield to support it. Already gets 1 kill, looking for a second.
Oh, Wonderful's playing so well right now. These Hexafires are getting value. Takes down the Fernando yet again. He goes down. Maglish able to follow up on the kill, and it will be at least a solid hold right now for Team Cryptik. But this is down to the wire. They cannot let their foot off the defensive gas.
Kcam takes down Swiper the 1 minute 38 remaining. Only about 25%. Here comes the Convergence. Looks like it only pulls in 2, and wow. Frankly, I don't know if I like this because Cryptik had already won that fight on the back foot. Strictly Business were looking to run away. You probably could have cleaned up 1, if not both of those frags, without that ultimate.
Very true, Nick. Sometimes using the ultimate mid-round we see can be valuable. Sometimes it's a bit of a waste. It's always a difficult call for these players in this matchup, especially when you're down 3-0. It feels like all the resources at your disposal, you have to lose them. Otherwise, you might regret it.
Already back to 41% on her ult, so not a whole lot of love lost there for that play. A minute remains in the round. Good to see it used just in case. Saris can build a lot of ult charge if she hits a good ultimate, stacking a bunch of enemy players, auto-attacking and building quick ultimate charge with that. A lot of pressure right now. It's very difficult. A lot of mobile tanks, mobile front line. Cryptik can be ready to fight at a moment's notice.
This is all Willow right now. She's got so much damage with the Blast Flower Legendary, Nick. As she keeps hitting, she keeps doing more damage to those same targets who stay marked, allowing her to be that much more effective, and she already hits in a wide area. This is going to be dangerous. They have to find a way to get to the back line, but right now, I'm not sure who's going to do it.
Dragon Punch ready to go. Big flight pop, looking for an angle, looking to soften up these frontliners from Team Cryptik. A full retreat call thus far. Ceiling does come out. Firebombs on the ground. 1 kill already going the way of Strictly Business.
Skeppii finds 1. Shoo gets another. He's hiding around the corner, but he's going to go down. stormavatar is went back to base, and so is I-Only-Op-B. Wonderful on a 5 streak. Strictly Business continue their business here of handling Team Cryptik on Frog Isle, and with overtime ticking away, doesn't look hopeful for them to defend.
Dragon Punch, Convergence, Barrage could be used in this fight, but they won't have much left in the tank to defend, and they'll be down 3-1 ever still, but they have to use it now. They have to hold on in this round.
Up, Hexafire, here it comes. Ruckus finishing off Saris. No healer. That Fernando is left out to dry. He's going to go down. Double kill for Wonderful. Strictly Business get the win.
4-0, Strictly Business. Still not dropping points even in the finals. Looking ferocious on stage. Wonderful. No answer for the Ruckus player. So much damage pouring out of that man in the middle of your screen.
So much happening here with both of these teams as well. Just feeling each other like we mentioned in terms of a competitive nature, in terms of compositions that they're drafting. Nobody knows how this is going to shake up. They're from different regions. They're from different platforms. It's Xbox versus PS4 for crying out loud. This is the console wars. This is something interesting for, I think, everyone even watching. And so far, Wonderful and the side of Strictly Business have come out and done just that, handled their business. Looking at the damage charts,
I think it's pretty clear here that Ruckus was a big, big problem for Team Cryptik. 11 and 262,000 damage. He was controlling the fights. Ash and Fernando just don't have anywhere near the damage output to be able to contend with this Ruckus. He was destroying them huge damage, top in the game, top Elan's in the game, high mobility, totally in control. And they had a Ying too, which is the funny part. Normally you're going to see this pair well with something like a Saris, especially given the way that Wxnderful is playing, holding down the front line. Saris is going to be good on-demand burst healing, whereas Ying needs a little bit of that setup time before her healing really starts to come online.
Some of the fantastic things that we've seen with these pro players on Ruckus is their Hexafires are absolutely clinical. No mistakes. No time wasted. They get the kills, double kills, triple kills, almost every time he went to that ultimate. And that was probably one of the biggest difference makers here, as well as maybe some of the issues with Team Cryptik's lineup. They didn't have enough of a flank presence, enough of an aerial presence to really deal with the Willow.
Pretty interesting draft from Team Cryptik. They went very early into their damage picks. The Victor and the Drogoz were their number 2, 3 picks.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows your hand in terms of what you're looking for, what your strategy is going to revolve around. And as a result, Strictly Business able to get their frontliners, the healers they want, and those clearly paid off.
And one of the best, I think, parts about it is that even though they don't get the Victor, they get the Tyra. They say it's the same thing.
The same thing.
I don't care at all. So that's not going to be a pick that's effective for them. It seemed like Team Cryptik maybe read a little bit too much in the situation, tried to take something away from their opponents. Now I think they got to go back to doing what they used to do.
They got Girl Victor, Fat Victor. Got a lot of Victors here on console. The aim is on point. I like that you mentioned the Hexafires finding full value, great positioning, almost in the back line there, just kind of waiting and watching. And that's the advantage. That's where, you kind of yell at your teammates, oh, get on the point, get on the point.
Yeah.
It's almost over at that point when there is a Ruckus literally waiting to just Hexafire it and take you to Dumpster Town.
Get on the point so I can die immediately. Not really the best advice from a teammate, but of course, they're doing everything they can to try and win. Serpent Beach, that's the next map where this will be played. This brings a lot of the verticality elements into play again. We saw Cryptik lacking that in this draft. What do you expect going into draft number 2?
Completely viable. Drogoz, I think, still going to be highly contested. We might see the Androxus or the Acrobatics pick from Swiper. The one, he said on stage, he highly prioritized it. That's what he wants to go to. Personally, I don't see him giving out that information on stage, not only to his enemies.
It seemed like a bait.
But it did seem like a bait, right? Didn't pull it out, pulled out something different, went on. And I don't know, maybe the Androxus this time around, but perhaps they bring out the Pip.
I think they're going for the Androxus here. I believe that if the Pip is available, they'll try to play it. They're feeling confident. Obviously need to get back to their old roots to get that confidence rolling for them. But I think the Androxus is something that a lot of people discount that he has. People think he's just a one-trick Pip, and he's not. He prefers Androxus. He's excellent at Androxus. We know how much he can change a fight on Serpent Beach.
The one game that we did see Swiper the One play Androxus, I believe he did take Darkstalker. This is, I think, a really good answer to Ruckus. So if they are forced to give up the Ruckus again, we'll have to see whether or not they're first pick. But Godslayer Androxus, pretty good answer, especially early game when you don't have the Cauterize, you don't have the Wrecker, and this Ruckus is just puking damage onto your team. It's really one of the best ways, is just to throw it right back at him.
Do you think this game is going to come down to playstyles or the draft here, Nick? We didn't really get a chance to see Cryptik even contend. How much of that was their lack of flank counterplay, or was that just what you felt, disparity in skill?
There was a lot of weird things about Cryptik's draft in the previous game, and obviously I have to base most of this off of my PC knowledge, but the tanks that they picked up, Ashe and Fernando, sort of do the same thing.
A little odd, right?
Neither of those characters bring a lot of damage. They kind of bring a backline. I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to bully you out. They can hold down the front line for a good amount of time, but they never were able to get this Victor. They never really made a conceded effort to protect Victor or Saris. They were both under a ton of pressure that entire time, and there was really no effort from these tanks to provide any peel whatsoever.
See some of the Cryptik North American Paladins PC players. They'll find themselves in the finals later today. But as we head over to the draft, Drogoz and Pip, like we did mention, gets picked up for Cryptik. So Swiper's going to find himself on that comfort selection. How big of a deal will this be? We're going to have to wait and see. The answer for Strictly Business, grab the Victor yet again and lock it down with the Barrack.
High ground control right now from Cryptik.
Much better.
Have it all.
DNR.
Ruckus is going to be able to provide some of that as well. Be able to flush it out if he can. Victor, Barrack, Willow actually selected here, likely Kcam, since Drogoz has been taken away. And you're right, Inara, I like that a lot better, able to push into a point, stand against the Ruckus, tankiest character in the game, I think, by far. They are going to get Saris again. They do pick it last, kind of the same thing. I wouldn't call it a mistake, just a little bit of a difference from what we're used to seeing in the draft.
And although they're not prioritizing their healers at this point, they do need Swiper to have the type of games that he had to allow them to get here as easily as they did. He was feeling confident before the match, not sure if that's continuing, But what I do like that we did mention out Inara, bringing so much more sustain rather than the Fernando who falls off admittedly late game. He's got the immunity from the Immortal, but those shields with Wrecker 3 literally melt. Nobody grabs Bulldozer. Nobody can deal with that damage reduction from Inara. It's just a math equation. You can't burn her down as fast.
And Wxnderful seems pretty content to just Hexafire through a Fernando shield if need be. 10,000 health goes pretty quickly. That's one of the highest damaging ultimates in the game, and there really wasn't ever enough pressure on Wxnderful.
Yes.
To, you know, we see it's tough for these PC guys a lot of times to get the full Hexafire off. They have to calculate, all right, whose movements are down, what defenses are down, can I get this off, do I have enough healing? That type of thing. Ruckus, I mean, he was above 50% health throughout the entirety of his channels almost every single time he was using them.
Still a lot to be decided. It is a best of 7. So this game, this series, this championship, these console wars are far from over.
I want to see a lot of big convergences this game. They only have Barricade in terms of a line of sight blocker to block that ultimate pulling in your entire enemy team. With things like Evil Mojo salvos to follow it up, there could be some very easy team fight wins here for Team Cryptik if they execute properly.
Heading into the game, it is Swiper the One on the Acrobatics pit. He's made his name for himself in the Paladin scene here for this. We'll see if Team Cryptik can answer back. Starting off on the left ledge, he's going to jump right off and go into the backline, I would assume. But no, the Ruckus comes to them. Wxnderful trying to keep things up like he did last game.
Taking a lot of damage, going to force out the Acrobatics, but it's not enough. Skeppii with this hit scan pressure takes him down. Kcam finds one, and Woosh throws Hit Hat in the ring.
Team Cryptik are falling like flies, and they just have no sustain. It feels like Inara melted in that fight, and everyone else, starting with Swiper the One, wasn't able to go at it with the same confidence we've seen before, Nick. Yesterday, I probably would have seen them jump in and go aggressive on that fight.
Love this positioning as well from Wxnderful to just get these dismounts under pressure. Is Swiper the One? The pit falls once again. No acrobatics trickery for him available. Strictly business with an easy capture here in the first round.
Swiper the One's pip is just absolutely non-existent right now. He was making fun of the strategy of what Team Cryptik said, which is just shoot the acrobatics pip. He said it's not going to be that easy, excuse me, strictly business. Saying, you know, obviously this is just one guy. We can deal with him like any other champion. It seems to be more true for what they said versus what Team Cryptik thought was going to be a much harder task than when he put it into words.
And the movement of this Ruckus player is still continuing to be so clean, confident, calm, cool, and collected. Can't really mess with that Inara Saris, though. That is just a lot of, you know, I guess you could say free ultimate charge. Not probably going to get the kill, but already sitting at 81%, getting a lot of damage in.
Only Opti just controlling a little bit, but still the pace is continuing to be set by Strictly Business in all forms of this match. The Willow is yet to be dealt with. The shattering, the shoulder bash into the back line, allowing him to finish off Skeppii B. Stormavatar finds 2 as well. This is starting to look good for Team Cryptik.
Probably one of the most satisfying ways to get a kill, but from downtown, up in the skies, Kcam. How's this feel? Acrobatics pip being shot down on by Willow. Now she's going to have to retreat. Doubt she'll have the mobility to get out of here. Probably going to have to just fight this one.
Whoa.
Oh, nice body blocks from Ying. Big save there.
Shoo comes in with an MVP-like play. Body blocks for his Willow, keeps the damage dealer alive, and also gives him some healing with that Ying going as well. Cam gets 1 kill as a result of that. Now they're going after Stormavatar. If they can finish him off, that's no area pressure right now, and it's looking really good for Strictly Business on the push.
Shoo actually going to be the one to finish that one off. Up on the high ground, Swiper the One, raining down damage on Pip. Nice dimensional link, trying to keep himself alive. Drops a clone. Sneaks around the corner, I think unnoticed, no, gets walled off, and now he's gonna be in some trouble.
He's still in the danger zone. Will Only Opti be able to finish him off? They've got the damage. They're gonna force Kcam back as well. So far, Team Cryptik able to defend better than they have before. The payload still close and being contested, but here's a Dragon Punch. Wxnderful goes down.
Stops it before it even gets started. One fire spit through the doorway here, could be big. Stormavatar has to reload and continue just to, looks like he's running worm jets here to be able to keep up. Keep this pressure high. Skeppii B takes him out, though. A little bit of a miscalculation. Too far forward. Stormavatar going to go down and give an early man advantage.
Great bounce off the wall there. Swiper the One gets pressured out again by the victor. He's got nowhere to go. Caught between a rock and a mech. And neither of those places are going to help him to stay safe in this fight. Swiper the One still getting pressured out. Wxnderful. Will he win this trade? He's got another advance. He's going to actually go up into the air and focus on the Saris. Hexafire comes out. See you later, healer. See you later, tank. Double kills. Talking about efficiency for Strictly Business and Wxnderful.
Perfection timing ultimate there. Immune to the convergence that would have pulled him in. Maybe made that harder. Inara walled herself off there. And it's another 2-0 lead for Strictly Business.
Wxnderful is, for me right now, showing his stuff at another level. We've seen this similar in North America with Denial, Bitey, showing just class but precision. He's played it so much, it feels like, in that scene, that it's flawless, it's easy. Now it seems like Wxnderful is taking that kind of approach on his platform in the console wars, making it look simple. And it's not.
Point spawning in 15 seconds.
Good business for these guys right now. They're in total control. Cryptik have some time to bounce back. This is a best of 7. They're only down 1 game right now, but Strictly Business is looking to quickly make that 2 games if they're not careful. Big resilience pickups coming out right now. They know they have to immune things like the evil mojo from Pip, like the seismic crash from Maglish.
Okay.
Right now they're in control.
A little bit of regression, a little bit of a resistance. Look at that fire spit. That's going to do a lot of damage. Uh-oh, Strictly Business lose Kcam. Swiper the 1 gets 1. Stormavatar finds 2. And this is looking way different for Team Cryptik with the comeback mechanic. They may have just wrapped up this objective.
Just avoiding this ruckus instead of trying to go toe-to-toe with it. A good look, taking him out last in this team fight.
Wow.
Looked like they wanted to go the same thing and maybe got Strictly Business excited to take that same fight again. Then Cryptik back off, make some room for Swiper the 1 to make his way to the backline and have an impact on his famous character.
85% the poke and the positioning should be in favor of Team Cryptik. The Dragon Punch comes in just to ward off any would-be aggressors. Will he find the victor? No. He's going to run out. Skeppii will clean up the Drogos. Here's a barrage. Skeppii with 2. Could they turn it around?
Trying, but it's Skeppii with a triple kill.
Oh!
Looking to make it for quadra
Wow!
kill. 1 left. Skeppii, will he do it again? Falling lower and lower. Swiper the 1 cleans him up, shuts him down, but Kcam is there. No pentakill. Skeppii gonna have to settle for the quadra.
A quadra today, a penta yesterday. Skeppii on the hit scan. Victor with Firefight as a legendary is a force to be reckoned with. 85% now, and Strictly Business against all odds are back in control of this objective, looking to make it 3-0 unless Team Cryptik can do something amazing.
Uh-oh, Hexifire's about to be charged. Cryptik need to be careful how they approach this fight. Can't do it super clumped up. Skeppii goes down early.
Got him. That's why for the 1. Getting payback and revenge. Wxnderful goes in. Hexafire finds 1. Will he find the second? No. Saris gets out right alive. Gets the second, though. This is crazy. Wxnderful keeping the hopes of Strictly Business alive.
Swiper the 1 keeping himself alive right now. 1 more shot. No, but Woosh takes 1 down with him. 99% Willow versus Pit battle of the mobility blasters. 3 reinforcements come in from Strictly Business.
Wow. I cannot believe this, Nick. Strictly Business fight back twice against all odds versus Team Cryptik and secure the 3rd objective. 2 minutes and 16 seconds now on the clock. They are about to win this game, go 2 up in the console wars.
Seismic crash convergence. Wombo combo potential. We just haven't seen it yet from Team Cryptik. No real synergy in terms of these ultimates. There is so much potential for a lot of easy team fights to be won. Kcam's going to open this fight up with 1 kill, almost makes it 2, but Ash barely escapes with her life.
Man, that's a big-time mid-air shot coming through from Kcam. He's playing this Willow to perfection and on a 10 streak. Look at this, Wxnderful now having the pressure relieved from him off of the objective. He's able to free fire, roam, get up into the air, and put pressure onto the back line, and now the front lines of Team Cryptik, who are staring defeat in the face if they cannot get down there. Here's an evil mojo to start things off.
Oh, and he gets down and around, stays alive. Bates Swiper the 1 off the high ground, and they are able to claim that kill. Dome Shield comes down. Wxnderful is just free firing in the back line.
1 minute and 22, a convergence to start the defense and hopefully end it, but it looks like Wxnderful still survives. There is just not enough damage. There's not enough sustain coming out from the side of Team Cryptik, and Swiper the 1 is consistently getting beaten out by Skeppii, who now looks to make it a double kill for himself and help to make his presence felt in the realm. Strictly Business with another W.
And I think you basically hit the nail on the head there. Not enough damage for Team Cryptik. They've got the Pip sure to do a bunch, but it's a healer at the end of the day. Doesn't pump out a ton of damage. They've got Ash, doesn't do a lot of damage. Inara, yeah, kind of, sort of. Sure. Saris. Drogos is the majority of this team fight damage, and with 2 major hit scan threats, Victor and Ruckus, they take him out, and what's really left to drive that team fight home?
You know, I would have wanted to maybe see the Androctus come out instead of the Pip. I know that he's used Integrated Veil here on this map specifically, but I do think Andro is a little bit more consistent in his ability to maneuver with the Darkstalker Legendary. Having those charges rather than that set cooldown offers a little bit more of flexibility, I think, for Swiper the One, who needs to win these duels. Also against Victor, Andrew, I think, is a much better matchup because he's got the reversal, all that damage. He's got the mobility, but he can also trade back and forth easily with the shots.
Kcam top damage this time around on the Willow, and look at this. 3 members over 60,000 damage. Wow, leading the charge on his Willow. Impressive stuff. They have so much damage options. Even when Skeppii falls, Kcam rotates in that fight, continues to bring the pain. If he falls, Wxnderful's there, and they're all doing about the same. There's so many threats online from Strictly Business, and it's funny to say that because it's Cryptik that are prioritizing their more damaging picks earlier on in the draft.
And that's what's so interesting. Kcam, like you mentioned, showing up. Everybody, it feels like, on the side of Strictly Business is showing up big today. And it's making me ask the question. It may be a little bit too early, Nick, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it. Is Xbox clearly better?
It would appear
PS4.
so. The superior platform. Looking to make a strong.
Or wait. Is NA clearly better than EU?
That's another question we have to ask.
Not a good question to ask in Europe, though. I feel like people are giving me mean stares now.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, no.
Watch your back.
Start throwing stuff at me. Oh, my God. Hit me in the face. Can't believe it.
So 2 maps out of the way, guys. Frog Isle, Serpent Beach in the past. What is to come? This is best of 7. 2 more games need to be found before we claim a victor. Frozen Guard.
Let me tell you what, Strictly Business, they've been claiming Victor as much as possible, and they will continue to do so. Skeppii B, he's got the answer with obviously the assault rifle. But what's more interesting in my eyes is just how we've yet to see really much contention from Cryptik. That last point fight, that was epic. It reminded me reminiscent of something yesterday that we saw with Kanga Esports and of course QG, where Chronix knocks him off at the last second. Unfortunately, and fortunately for Chronix, the way that overtime took was a little different. Chronix, all he had to do was step on the objective for a moment. That overtime looked like it didn't quite tick away, and because he had about a second and a half, he had to be there. Just didn't end up getting the point.
Of course, that play 100% calculated by Chronix. Not an ounce of luck involved.
No luck.
And he's a machine in terms of Paladins. Up 2-0. Strictly Business here. Console Wars Finals. Making a case for NA being superior. Xbox, a better platform. Everything's up in the air. NA is making a stand today.
They're making a stand in this entire tournament, Nick. We've got an NA China finals for
and
Paladins.
Cryptik will have another chance at the championship later today.
Absolutely.
If they lose here.
There's 2 teams for Cryptik, obviously, and of course representing North America on the PC side, representing EU here, and of course representing PS4. As we get into the next draft, Cryptik will have the first pick. What will they take away? The Ruckus?
Hey.
Wxnderful's going to have to play something else, and that's a wonderful sign for Team Cryptik.
And he can. He played Ashe very well yesterday. Drogos, first selection, likely to go to Kcam. What will Strictly Business Victor? Or that man right on your screen, Skeppii from the block, almost dropping another hot penta.
He keeps getting what he wants, and this is fine. Strictly Business and Cryptik. We kind of talked about this, right? Will they continue to just get what they want or try to take things away? We see Cryptik try to take the Victor away game 1, didn't work. Now they try to take the Ruckus away. Maybe that is the keystone that will change this matchup. So far, they've had no chance. I'm all for experimenting here.
Pretty much I think that's got to be the earliest I've seen a healer picked up. Sarah's highly prioritized by Cryptik. Strictly Business content to probably get the Ying. They don't need to pick it here, but they can if they want to keep their last pick spot open. But as they've already picked 2 damage, it doesn't really matter. They've kind of shown their hand at this point. Torvald does come out, and this is going to be bad news. This pairs up well with Skeppii B.
See some foam fingers wagging in the audience there, just in symbol of the love of Torvald, the granddaddy of the realm, with that gauntlet, bringing so much value, so much protection, and so much control in his lineup. And of course, Pip rounding things out with the Tyra. Maybe they didn't expect this. Of course, they will be able to contend now. They're not going to be missing damage in this lineup at all.
Ying rounding out the Strictly Business comp. So Cryptik, again, it feels like they're getting kind of everything that they want. Strictly Business feels that way as well. So clashing these comps. We can talk a little bit about the map, I suppose, here being a little bit more open than the previous 2, Frozen Guard. I expect most of the fighting to happen around the point. Nobody drafting anything really long range. Shaolin, Kinessas, Grovers, not super popular in the console scene from what I have observed.
What I do like is the addition of that flanking role plus the damage. I think Swiper 1, he was unfortunately having to do too much. He was having to flank, he was having to do the damage and apply it onto the point. With the Tyra there, they've got enough pressure on the objective. They got the Molotov, they've obviously got her damage from her Crossfire ultimate, just the weapon which hits like a truck. And now Pip, if there was any aggression in the backline that needed to be made to focus down the Victor, he can do that solo.
All speculation here at this point. Ash, interesting. Do they just get into the backline and bully? I expect it to be Wxnderful on this Ash. He can kind of fulfill the same role that he has been on Ruck, because obviously he's not going to be bringing quite as much damage into that, but probably a little bit more consistency. It's pretty easy to hit with Ash's in-hand projectiles, but Wxnderful makes every character he plays look easy.
5,
Makes him look wonderful. Some may say,
2,
only op B.
1.
Jumping back
And
onto the
so
ruckus
it
now. He's
begins.
taking it away from Team Strictly Business. And will his team now be able to unlock what has been a cryptic puzzle to find the answer to just getting any points at all? 4-0, 4-0, both of the first games. Will the third be any different? Starting it off, there's a lot of clumping. Only op B getting into the back line, forcing the Victor out. He's very low. There's a lot of pressure. Cryptik seem to have been tilting this their way.
Trying to get in Victor's face. Skeppii the first to fall. Swipe the one goes down, trading out kill for kill. At this point, Torvald struggling to stay alive. Double kill for only op B.
And it could be a triple no. stormavatar, he's gonna grab that one. Strictly Business looking pretty good. Team Cryptik, though, looking even better in this map. The Ruckus seems to have switched things more than we would have assumed.
I'm surprised that they didn't elect to first pick it. In the previous game, they went for the second pick. Prioritizing their damage a little bit more heavy. Here comes the dismount. Skeppii sneaks up on Swipe of the one from the bush, but the mobility is plenty. Look at the distance he's able to clear. Tops himself back up with a healing potion.
Still, Swiper the one. Good get on the Drogo's case. Hard for Pip to deal with the airborne. Will he find it? Oh, only op B gets the last shot. That's what Ruckus brings to the table. Now they've got to deal with this Torvald, though. Team Cryptik have fallen. Only Swiper one is the one alive, and he is going to have to fight a big-time fight to stay here. He's still getting some damage off. Will he get the Victor? No, can't get the trade.
Oh, Shoo again. Big body blocks from him, able to actually keep Skeppii alive there. Grenades coming out, looking for the dismounts. Doesn't find that one, but knows where to expect that aggression to come from. 96% for Strictly Business. They do steal it away. No one from Team Cryptik able to get back to the contest.
If I'm Team Cryptik, that hurts right now. We had the first objective. We just didn't zone correctly. We essentially wiped the entire team, and we still let Strictly Business come back. At this point, I'm starting to think that this is a morale indication of the fact that these guys just can't do anything right long enough in order to win.
Good angle here from Skeppii to be able to hold down. Grenade from downtown. Doesn't even need it. Wxnderful already has claimed the life of stormavatar. They leave the healer left alive. They know way in the back line there. You can see Swiper one trying to provide that distraction value, but frankly, I'd like to see them just ignore it and continue on.
Minute, 48 seconds left on the objective. You see Strictly Business there in the cams. Focused, content, but not satisfied. That's the truth. They're trying to get this final to represent Xbox. Will they be able to do so? PS4 trying to hold on with the convergence. Cryptik doing the best they can, but still, nothing is happening.
Wonderful claims Maglish before going down to stormavatar. Nice kill from Skeppii there onto AkimboMistiK. Dragon Punch is at the ready, the only ultimate available for Strictly Business to push this one through. Fire spin up over the top. Nice pickup from Kcam.
Looks like things are going the way they have the last couple of games. Dragon Punch, midair, flying down. Who's he going to grab? The Ruckus, Hexafire. See you later. He's going to throw him back. Midair fire spin, almost makes it. Doesn't quite get it. Swiper the one on his tail. Kcam's content to run back. Will he be able to retreat? No. The Pip will secure that one.
Has the Evo Mojo available. A lot of tankiness on this point right now. He might feel the need to use it, and he does. Hits all three members except Torvald, was able to get back behind the payload. Now onto some heat. Swiper the one, barely escapes with his life.
Big time stuff. Gets the cauterize off him, so he gets a full heal from the Mega Potion as well. But King, Ash, and Torvald are still alive. Here's the barrage from Skeppii. It's going to clear a lot of space. Aoliapi goes down, but here's Barrick and Saris to contest. It's just Saris in the shadow travel. When she comes out, they've got their eyes on her. It is 5v1, and that's Strictly Business with a 2-0 again.
Wxnderful with a beautiful kinetic blast. Skeppii with 4 frags in that fight. Really strong stuff from Strictly Business. No signs of stopping down for these guys. Cryptik looking a little shook, probably frustrated at this point. If we see another 4-0 here, I think this set's probably over.
Well, you have to take into account that they're trying different things, and that's what I like to see from teams when they're down. Try something different, experiment. If it's not working, fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that's what Strictly Business are obviously sticking to. They've got the victor the last 2 games. They've won every chance. They've been able to let Skeppii run free, and they've had that all set.
Illuminate Forehead. Skeppii B feeling, I guess, confident enough to pick up Illuminate too, maybe so he can spot out. He can spot out Saris a little bit easier into his shadow travel, but not something I think he really needs. 2 frags before he goes down to swipe with a 1. Strictly Business still in control of this team fight.
Maybe showing a little bit of the confidence there, Strictly Business. And Team Cryptik obviously not talking trash to each other, but feeling very confident that their region and their console platform
found other ways to do it.
That's trash talk in the realm, if I've ever seen it. 66% on the objective for Strictly Business now. Team Cryptik having to come back yet again. Swipe the 1, chasing down the victor. Bubble from Torvald is going to save his life.
One of those situations here.
Oh my God.
Skeppii B quickly learned you just got to fight that. You're not getting away from Acrobatics Pip. What happened to your strategy? Just shoot the Pip. It's working out very well for Strictly Business.
He was buying time to get the bubble. AkimboMistiK goes down thanks to Shoo, who's been phenomenal on this Ying. 17 streak for the healer and the captain of this squad. He is content to continue pressing forward at this zone. Look at this zone, Nick. They are getting close to their base.
Holding it down here from the Raptors. Crossfire at the ready. Every ultimate except for the barrage on the line for Strictly Business. Hexifire's down. Even Mojo's a couple of shots away from being ready for swipe of the 1.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left. 72% on the Hexifier for Ruckus, who's been the champion. They first picked. They took it away from Strictly Business after Wxnderful had such a wonderful performance in the first few games of the set. But now it is struggling against Wxnderful's Ash. Maybe Wxnderful is the difference maker and not the champion that he's playing. I only op B going up against. He gets a heal from the pit, but will it be enough?
Hi-Rez shutting down all of that healing from Saris. No answer from Team Cryptik. 2 members left alive. Swiper the 1's bouncing his way back into spawn. Saris is caught out here. Doesn't have line of sight on any of her teammates. Dragon Punch is zooming around to zone. Swiper the 1 carefully approaching the payload, but too late. Fist bump your teammate, please, Skeppii. There you go. Thank you.
Now, 4-0. 4-0.
I think it's time for Sky.
It may be time, but what it is also is maybe 1 game away from North America winning the first championship here at Valencia. They've got the opportunity to win a second one after this in the PC finals versus China, and that would be Team Cryptik. But in this set, Team Cryptik looking dismal, as you can see. 3-0 currently in the best of 7 set, and PS4s, I don't know, gotta be
not a single point, not a single payload captured, not a single defense held. They're looking defeated, frustrated, as I imagine anyone would be.
But I mean, Nick, this also goes into the fact that the preparation both these teams had. And you talk about Woosh, who comes through on the Torvald. I mean, these guys are bringing out different lineups. You know, they take away the Ruckus, and he goes straight to something different. These guys seem very, very content to deal with different strategies at a high level.
And they pulled out, you know, Cryptik-esque draft from the first 2 maps, actually blocking in their damage, their Victor, their Drogos first. It's getting to the point where I'm thinking that they might just be mechanically superior. Their team fights just look better. I don't know if you can really point to a draft issue at this point, because Strictly Business are destroying Cryptik with whatever they get their hands on.
They truly, truly are. That's what the story has been thus far, as you see one of the Invigorate members walking past the camera. There have been several teams here, 4 to be exact. 2 from Europe, 2 from North America, 2 from Xbox, 2 from PS4. It is the console wars, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, we are here at the precipice of what could be the final game going into this best of 7 set. My name is Rayday. This is Nick Keogh, Hi-Rez Pretty Hair. If you're joining us now, well, the story has been that Team Cryptik have had no answers to the puzzle that is Strictly Business, and Strictly Business have been, well, let's just say business has been going well.
Yeah, it's just in good business here. I think maybe the Illuminate was a little bit of a prelude to control
something
picks
interesting.
Here. Sky, definitely, I think, more viable on console than she is on PC. The way things have been going, I think Strictly Business definitely have some room to spice up the draft.
If they pick Sky, I'm gonna call that you have been talking to these players this whole time, because I don't think they're going with the Sky. I feel like only to please you would they do it. But I don't know. It's a tournament, Nick. They can't let their foot off the gas. They played well. They've dominated. But that is because of how excellently everyone has done. These guys have $50,000 on the line. I don't know.
Right Marsh selection here. Torvald Sky, that's what I want. Give it to me.
Yes.
Let him have Ruckus. I mean, Sky, such a good tank shredder. easily deal with it, especially on Bright Marsh.
The truth is, there's been a lot of new comps coming into this tournament at Dreamhack Valencia. Why a lot of Paladins fans and
Bet you
esports
QG would
fans
do it.
exactly are calling this the best event ever in Paladins history because there's been so many new dynamics. Ying has come to the forefront of having disappeared over the last few months, and they're using it greatly. Shoo is phenomenal on this game.
I have to see. Heavy Saris prioritization from Team Cryptik, and I don't really understand it. Picks second.
Sure,
These
yeah.
guys, I mean, healing's good, sure. Ying's healing has been just fine as well. Convergences are, I think, a little bit better of a team fight ultimate and illusory rift, but just not seeing that warranted, I don't think, as early as it has been coming from Cryptik.
And if you are feeling a little interested in some of the meta shifts that go on between Paladins PC and Paladins console, the healers are one of the big contention points. Ying, Saris, definitely the most viable in terms of efficacy these players and the teams have considered, due to the fact that Maldamba, who's typically the top tier healer in Paladins PC, a little bit more difficult to handle, a lot more to deal with on a controller.
So with their backs against the wall, Cryptik go once again to the ruckus. Ball back over to Strictly Business here for 2 picks of their own. I mean, what do they take? They can just keep going what they want. They could spice it up if they're feeling confident. We'll have to see. Some teams, like you mentioned, they're going to keep their foot on the gas until they're well over the finish line. And it looks like that's what we're seeing here as Drogos and Derek are locked in on Bright Marsh.
Cryptik have a chance to respond. What will it be? It could be the final draft for them in Valencia. Dreamhack 2017. And the Paladins summer premiere, the Paladins Console Wars.
I think you go Victor Ashe. Yeah, okay, Victor Ashe here for Cryptik. I like this not only because Ashe can stay alive against the Dragon Punch, as well as assert dominance under a Dome Shield or something like that, or just have a safe space for herself, where she doesn't have to worry about taking too much damage. Victor and Ruckus, a lot of damage on the line right now. Strictly Business could still go for a Tyra. Worked out for them in game number 1. Still fingers crossed for the Sky, though.
Will they keep up the hit scan? Will they grab something to compete with it? The Torvald comes out, the granddaddy of the realm. And the Ying as well for Strictly Business and Shoo. They've got these characters before. They've done well before. They're 3-0 in the set. What will Cryptik do to respond for their potentially final draft?
Vaporeon there on the stage. Fortunately not in the game. Gonna go back to the Pip here for Swiper the 1 and a Grok as well. First time we've been seeing Grok for either squad in this series.
Wow!
Zin locked in for Strictly Business here, looking to spice things up. Skeppii B, so I assume we'll be playing this.
It wasn't Sky, but are you still happy?
I actually am. Garrett, are you happy?
Who's Garrett?
Our lead designer, Fearless
I'm
leader.
just kidding.
Martini in the front row. I wonder if he's going to run the counter legendary. So good against not only Victor, not only Grok, but Ruckus as well. Things could go very, very well for the leader of the Thousand Hands Guild here.
The Thousand Hands Guild as well. Just sending their prime and best member, one would assume, Zen into the realm for Strictly Business. They've had success thus far. No reason to assume they wouldn't have success here. And that's Zen in the back line with a Torvald bubble, 40% extra damage on the world.
Console Zen is good. I love it, personally. Small, tight map like Bright Marsh, there's no reason that I can really think of that Zen won't actually do very well on this map.
The Flaming Sword, of course, thrown by him. You saw him in the trailer to start things off. And as these teams get ready, Strictly Business, they're talking, communicating, trying to keep this up. One more win to go, they're saying. Team Cryptik still, again, puzzled, trying to figure it out. They've had so much success over on their platform of PS4 and in Europe. But on Bright Marsh, will that success continue? Or will Strictly Business take the championship? Let's find out.
5, 4, 3, 2.
There he is, Skeppii B,
Let the battle
piloting
begin.
Zen for the first time, and I think, unless you count District 69 running it in one of our community tournaments during the week here. First shots fired out, Whirl to the back line, gets the counter off, is running the counter legendary, so we'll continue to throw back 700 damage melee strikes.
And that Billow actually, the Whirl gets the kill, finally allows Wxnderful and Shoo to finish off. Swiper the 1, though, does finish him with the Androxus. Gets taken down by Kcam mid-air, which is a duel you'd expect Androxus to win. But Kcam showing his stuff.
So it was not actually the hip lock in for Swiper the One. Looks like the Androxus finally with his back against the wall has to pull out the big guns. 90% already on the point for Strictly Business. Can't get there in time. They're going to take the first payload of the game. Well on their way to the first console World Championship.
Obviously, the Androxus is here, but what's interesting is how is he going to compete against this Zen? The Whirl has been so effective for him thus far, and he's got the bill of one of the newer champions in Paladins. You know, Skeppii, one of the players I think most exciting to spectate, especially on this new one that we haven't seen in esports really.
So let me run you through this kid. Obviously, you see the flaming sword there. It's going to throw out some mid-range projectiles that have a little bit of a hit chain. First two swings are going to do 450. Final, it's going to hit much harder than that. Gets Torvald Bubble to save his life. One of his abilities, you've seen him use it. Whirl, doesn't use anything there. Has the ability to counter any and all damage coming from the front of his model, and the ability to take a pseudo ghost walk or shadow travel. Think of that, where he goes completely immune. You can still see him, you just can't do any damage to him.
And of course, you know, Nick, Androxus, we don't need to describe what this guy does. He shoots things, he dashes in the air. He's got that big ultimate with the accursed arm, and of course the reversal, which is very similar to the counters effect, has it. Buying them some time, reversing some damage back onto them. And so far, looking good is Swiper. He's got the Torvald Bubble, but there's a reversal we're talking about. So far, Team Cryptik showing a little bit of life here on this defense.
There we go, down but not out. Two ultimates online. Shoo more quickly to follow, assert dominance. Hits the 100% mark, therefore followed by Hexafire. So now Strictly Business got a lot of work cut out for them. 4 ultimates of their own. Kinetic Burst Prime fired, let loose as this team fight kicks off.
Maglish doing really well on the Ashe thus far. Here's the illusion coming from Ying, getting out as quickly as possible as Shoo, continuing to impress with Strictly Business and keep his team and himself alive. 43 seconds left. Skeppii tries to finish off this Ashe, but into the ultimate. It's going to take her down.
Didn't really give a description of that one, but I think it speaks for itself. Super anime wombo combo. Does a decent amount of damage, but most importantly, locks down its target for the duration. Also worth noting that Xin is completely vulnerable during that, so it could be punished. I like the decision to use it in there just to quickly dispatch of that Ashe.
And going with the counter legendary allows him to get in the face of Ruckus and just reverse so much of that damage. The billow added just for the Androxus accursed arm and the Victor damage, but stormavatar takes down Skeppii easily as Swiper the One was distracting him midair.
Only down one. Here comes maybe the Tempest out. Not super effective as just a team fight ultimate. Trying to hold things down. Ghostwalk already down. It's going to be very close here as we head into overtime.
The deployable Nightmare, Ying and Bear. So many deployables. Here's the Hyper Beam. Will it end up working? They've got the Tempest, so he didn't get pushed by it. Here's the Totem as well. Going to heal him up, and will he stay? He's the last man standing. Here comes Maglish just in time.
Could be an assert dominance here. Does get that one flag planted. It's going to be safe for the next couple of seconds. Kinetic Burst. Nice. Try and juggle things around, but doesn't look phased if you're Strictly Business.
Should have thrown the shield down. Was waiting at the last moment, but kind of lost track of that cooldown for his ult there. The assert dominance runs away, and so does his life. Kcam still in the front, firing freely, and Strictly Business are going to capitalize on that push and get a 2-0 lead yet again.
My goodness, we very well may see a flawless run through the Console Wars final here by Strictly Business, yet to drop a single point.
Tensions rising. They know this is a do or die moment. Team Cryptik, Sniper the One. Looking a bit unsure. This wasn't how he expected it to go. Nobody on Cryptik did.
I mean, how can you? Meeting no resistance through the online qualification stage. They couldn't have done better.
Yeah.
Didn't lose any games during that process. They dropped not but a single map to their semifinal opponent. It just wasn't enough here to stand against the might of Strictly Business. North American Xbox squad showing that they are superior.
One of the things I love about this squad is they seem to have adapted to so many different roles as well as Strictly Business, playing different champions. Skeppii goes down yet again. Kcam gets a kill, and Woosh just content to sit on the point as Barrick does. Goes to the Dragon Punch. Kcam looking for one. If he's going to get it, this is going to be big. Takes down Swiper and stays alive. That's about the worst thing you could have happen if you're Team Cryptik.
Fire spit up over the wall, won't connect.
Stop the payload.
Fire spit projectile.
Wow.
Will Strictly Business with a clean sweep there, 100-0 on that payload, and now barreling their way towards the first Console Wars Championship.
Wxnderful on the Torvald with a 10 streak yet again. Kcam has played the Willow, has played the Drogoz now, also on a 10 streak. Woosh on a 13 streak, and Shoo on an 8 streak there. That's going to get him into the drink. This may get 2 kills for Torvald. Wxnderful gets 2 more onto that streak as well, continuing to impress on his tank play.
Torvald, Ruckus, Ash, driver's seat, no
got it
matter
all.
what. This is a more passive tank where he's just going to want to sit back, bubble up his teammates, give them some more damage. Wxnderful. Definitely MVP for me.
What's so interesting, and I would probably concur with that, Nick, just such a staple for their lineup, just being so consistent. Not a lot of people send the Hyper Beam that way. There is some water there that I think a lot of people ignore. Torvald had a little bit more efficacy. You see Skeppii misses the ultimate there, but he's going to billow out safely while getting healed up by the Yeet clones.
Really awesome emote there right behind the tree. A little bit of a tactical advantage. Not much of a contest coming through, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Strictly Business, your flawless console wars champion.
Perfection. Perfection. Strictly Business. Excited and well-deserving. You see the crowd standing up. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it is North America with the upper hand, at least to start out the day. Xbox as well in the console wars seems to be victorious in the first ever event here in Dreamhack Valencia.
Tell you what, the bar is set very high, and really no questions answered, just utter defeat on the faces of this Cryptik squad. Ladies and gentlemen,
What an incredible set. I don't think I would see the day where we would have not only just a 4-map sweep in the finals, but no points lost whatsoever. And one of the guys who's been really pivotal, especially on the Ruckus gameplay with all these amazing hexafires coming out, is the wonderful man himself. How do you feel, bud?
Pretty good.
So, you guys obviously had something built up for the acrobatics pip. You just essentially said, well, if he's going to go up high and use the double acrobatics jump, I'll just take aerial assault and go one higher and get aiming down at him. Was that an actual active strategy that you guys came into today with?
We weren't really worried about the pip. If they gave us ruckups every map, it was going to go the same way anyways.
Without a doubt, and of course, your teammates just completely flawless throughout this entire tournament, and the online qualifiers, again, very little resistance. Tell me more about like the brotherhood you guys kind of bonded together over these last couple days.
I mean, they're like my best friends, and like I really enjoy hanging out with them. We were all friends from Overwatch, so we kind of met up that way, and ever since then, teamed up, and it's been good from there.
Without a doubt, and of course, this is just the beginning of console wars. We've already had the announcement that's coming back to HRX. We're going to see the boys in purple back in this upcoming year?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Now, speaking of console, this is a brand new scene for Paladins, and you had mentioned you came from previous games. How does it feel like to play this game differently on the sticks than rather than just mouse and keyboard?
It doesn't really feel much different. More the same. Yeah.
Without a doubt. And again, you're not only just the Ruckus gameplay, but we have the Torvald and the rest of the boys are coming up. Get around this trophy, guys. Come on, get on up here. You guys are right here with it. Congratulations to all of you guys. And continuing to go through, holding on up, take it up, get that celebration. Congratulations. Kcam, come on up, dude. You seem like you are just fueled, ready to go.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I never would have thought I would have seen the day where I get to do the thing I love and make it something that I could actually potentially turn into a career. It's incredible.
So, okay, you already said possible career opportunity here. obviously I assume the 5 of you guys are sticking together when it comes to HRX. Where do you go from here, though? I mean, you guys have dominated everybody. How do you practice from now on?
There's no such thing as being too good. You can always improve. There's always mistakes that are made. We're humans. It happens. And where we can go from here is just reviewing what we do and sharpening our game, turning it up.
And talk to me a little bit more, because you guys came into this competition having kind of a set what everyone was going to play, obviously role-wise, but also champion-wise. How is it going to be from here on out? You guys had enough time to really get your hands on every single character, or is there anything in particular you think you may have been able to do better or bring to the field that you weren't able to this quickly since the qualifiers to now?
Well, there are obviously things that we can work on and champions that we can build into the characters that we play. And of course, because Hi-Rez puts out, different patches and tweaks to characters every week, there's always something we can do to improve. And the meta changes constantly, which is one of the things I love about the game. And as we progress, the only thing we can look forward to do is to get better. And yeah.
Definitely a humble beginning, and we're good to go. I mean, you guys are the first ever console champions. You kidding me? That's got to feel awesome. Of course, the Sultans of the Stick. But we're not just going to be done. We have PC later, and a little special treat coming up for you guys. You're going to want to stay tuned to see what happens next.